Hey, you guys know it's Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. And then we got this Taco Tuesday. You guys already know we got the Four Amigos of Cowboy content here to bring you guys your daily dose of Cowboys Uncut. Brought to you by West Coast Cowboy. Brought to you by Low Nation. Brought to you by the nefarious one himself, my boy from Landlord, Alabama, and that guy that will count your money 2 times, Mr. HTM Sports.
Indeed.
He counts money 2 times because he don't believe nobody can really count.
Hey, man,
nobody count better than him.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But yo, it is that time of the morning where we bring y'all that content. So let's go ahead and do that round robin. But before I do that, actually, let's do that real quick. Real quickly, I already announced everybody, but let's pause for a minute because we ain't been on here for a couple days. And landlord, it's the 30th, so rent is damn near due. You feel me? So I need y'all to know right now, we don't accept checks. We need money orders because checks will not be clear by the 1st. Okay? This is what I need you to do this morning. I need you to hit the share button. That's paying that rent. It's time to pay that rent, y'all. Pay it right now. Hit that share button. Listen to me. Also, it's time to play that monetary rent. What is that? I need y'all to hit that star button.
Absolutely.
Star button over there on Facebook.
All the S's.
And if you're on YouTube, if you're on the tubes of you, the one that started it all, we need you to hit that old super chat.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I need everybody to hit that super chat, and I need everybody to hit that star button. Now, this is what I'm going to do. My boy, I'm going to let Landlord start off today. Landlord going to say up a couple of people over there that's keeping them bills paid. Actually, he going to shout out some people that already paid the bills. These are folks that already shared and hit star. So hit it up, and after that, we'll go through the line, and then we're going to jump right into this content.
Okay. Shout out to my people over here rocking with me in the trap. You know, we got all the big dogs over here today. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Big Dallas 864, Mr. Micah Lockhart, the lunatic in the building, and Common Sense, man. I got more people watching, but they ain't said nothing, so they got to wait on it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Indeed. And hey, man, it's your boy Henny the Moore reporting live from the liquor store. I see Regina Green over here getting drunk on the Dallas Cowboy content with me. Salute to you. Common Sense Lab said he done went to all the channels. So hey, he a real one. Salute to Common Sense Lab.
GOAT level, man.
Michael Jordan, man. Game 6 type stuff. Brian Kite.
The flu
game, man. What? No, they said they tried to poison Michael Jordan, take him out the game. So you know, like
it was food poisoning game.
Allegedly. Hey, Brian Kite, part of the Wrench Gang. I see you, man. Appreciate you. Michael Lockhart, part of the Wrench Gang. Hey, shout out to all y'all. And remember, you know, if you slap the shit out of an Eagles fan, man, you will receive half off all the merchandise inside of the liquor store. So please. No, they can get slapped up. You know, say just don't run them over, but you know, you can get slapped. But you know, hey, please go ahead and use that discount while supplies last.
Hey, but shout out to that Cowboys fan who tried to hit AJ Brown. Hey. Heroes are born every day. Appreciate you. Hey, we ain't gonna incriminate nobody, so all we're gonna say, what you say, allegedly.
Wow.
He wasn't trying to hit him. It was just that he was walking in the street and his car accidentally bumped his
okay, that what happened, man.
That's what it was. But shout out to them real ass Cowboy fans who take it for real. Hey, Law, who over there helping you pay some bills, man? Matter of fact, man, who over there is helping you who's over there helping you get 100,000 subs?
All of the people, man. I appreciate y'all, man. They know who they are. I see them in the chat. Sadiq, appreciate you. Steve Ellis, appreciate you. JC Network and beyond. Sugar Daddy 1 Williams, you know, he's somebody's sugar daddy. So I love to know that. Action powwow, man. Appreciate you, man. D Shift, let's get it going the best way possible. Cowboy Nation, let's talk about this news that's around the world. Let's go.
Hey, I just love how confident we are, because I ain't gonna lie, man. Some of y'all names on YouTube will definitely test your masculinity, you know what I'm saying? It will test our pause, but we appreciate you anyway. we definitely appreciate. We appreciate all the big daddies in the comment. We definitely saying those all day. You know what I'm saying? Stop using your lady's pet name as your cowboy.
You get one shot out of every screen, like not more than that. Just one time.
Neighbors know my name.
He said, man, y'all better call me by my name. hey, he send that $30, $50 super chat. You be like,
you gonna say sugar daddy then?
You gonna say
big Cowboy fan. Stop doing this like that, man. Stop doing this like that.
Yeah.
But hey, man, let's go ahead and jump right into the content, man, because time is definitely of the essence, man. But hey, we got some announcements that we got to kind of make real quick, man. Because listen, hey, shout out to the nation for the support, man. You guys know, it's always our hope to bring you guys the latest and the greatest. And tomorrow we got not even little, something pretty huge, man. We got my guy Kelvin Joseph coming on the show tomorrow. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Central. That's Kelvin Joseph, Dallas Cowboys cornerback, out of by way of LSU, by way of Kentucky. Going to be stopping by the feed tomorrow at 7 p.m. So if you haven't heard already, make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. Get your notifications ready. 7 p.m. Wednesday. That's tomorrow, 7 p.m. Pacific. That's 9 p.m. Central. So we're gonna start this thing off. I want to go real quick, just run the line. You got Kevin Joseph on the line. What do you guys want to ask? A quick question. What do y'all want? What is the question or some thoughts y'all have for Kevin tomorrow? Then we're gonna go into some other Cowboy content before we get out of here. Let's go.
All right, so for me, like my main question for Kelvin Joseph, is he really switching positions? You know what I'm saying? I want to know, is he really going to be a safety or is he just going to be a nickelbacker? It makes sort of a difference. It kind of doesn't because of the amount of big nickel that we do play. We see J-Ron Kirsch play big nickel. We see Donovan Wilson play big nickel. So, it might just be, a little vague, but, I'm really, looking forward to asking him, where does he see himself, in this lineup? Does he think a position change will help him if he is changing positions? Just different things like that.
Okay. Go ahead, my boy landlord, and Law, you wrap it up for us.
Yeah, of course. I just want to see, like Henry said, basically, is this going to be like a versatile thing? Is he going to be playing here and there or everywhere? Is he going to be having a defined role in his defense? Or it's like, I want to see if he's trying to man this slot corner position, or is he going to translate all the way to safety? Because I seen some of the reps, they said on the reports I was reading, said he was getting most of the work at slot corner. So he did see some time at safety, but he still was getting majority of the work at slot corner. So hopefully that transition help him out and he can blossom into the player we hope he will be the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Law, what's your thoughts, my guy? And also, I'll tell you this right now, we're gonna on this show, I'm setting it up to have a call-in line, you know what I'm saying? Because listen to me, in 2023, content creators supporting content creators is the new vibe, you know what I'm saying? And what I've noticed is, you'll have, we did a great interview with my boy Jalen Tolbert, and we had some excellent points that came out of there, man. And what I noticed is this, we have the major networks that really didn't show no love, but then we have the underground bosses. That's what, the underground bosses of Cowboy content, you know what I'm saying? The Collegios, you know what I'm saying? The Micah Corleones, you know what I'm saying? The Cowboy content that really moved the nation, who really jumped on that and really supported us, the Law Nations, the Boss Cowboys. So this is what we're going to do, man. Tomorrow at 7, I'm also going to be building in a time, as long as I can get my call-in line working. Worst case scenario, I'll just give y'all the link and y'all just link in. I ain't even tripping. But we're going to have a time where, content creators who've supported like Law Nation, J Tuck, Boss Cowboy, a couple other guys who have really, really put some monetary gain behind what we're doing over here, to have some time too. Because I'm going to tell you this right now, we are big enough where I'm not saying we don't need the 4 network, but as long as we got guys like Law and Boss on our side, bro, we don't need them dudes. We don't need them dudes.
We definitely, man, and independently, we can throw our numbers around, and it works with the big dogs all day. I can literally say, hey, we did 4 million views last month. So major networks can't walk around like we do. You know what I'm saying? So we new media, and we can say whatever we want to say over here, respectfully with what we're saying. So with all of that being said, it's good. It's good stuff that I know for sure of what we're doing is growing at a good level, respectful level, because we ain't sitting out here cheating the system. We work in the system. Ain't that right, landlord? Ain't that right, HTL? Ain't that right, West Coast? You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
You can tell the way we walk. We ain't around here. You know how that goes, right?
Yeah.
What I wanted from Kelvin Joseph is for him to get comfortable. If people go back and listen to the previous conversation we had about Kelvin Joseph switching positions, as a defensive back is all about comfort. We want him to be comfortable. On top of that, we want him to play with a clear mind. We know the skill sets is there. I've been saying since day one, he is one of the most athletic DB on the team. He just got to see it for himself. And if he got to get switched to safety spot, there's nothing wrong with that. The Honey Badger, the dude from LSU, the previous school that he went to before he went to Kentucky, he played on the outside, but they switched him down inside. There's nothing wrong with that. We can go over to even from a safety aspect, Charles Woodson. I'm not saying that Kelvin Joseph is Charles Woodson, but he switched to playing safety. Hey, Rod Woodson switched to playing safety as well. So utilize your skill set, and just because you get moved around doesn't mean that that's the end all. It might actually elevate his game even more.
Yeah, could this be our Byron Jones, the reverse style? You know what I'm saying? Could this be the reverse Byron Jones, where he was struggling at corner, where at safety and moved to the corner and became an All-Pro? Who knows? We'll have to just see how it develops. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think too, like the nation has to we gotta as a kid, if you're playing cornerback, man, and they move you to safety. In most schemes, unless you have a defensive coordinator that just knows how to, put that emphasis on playing the position, that growing where you are, like a lot of kids think that is a demotion. Right. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. In the NFL, there's only 22 opportunities you even have to be on the field.
Right.
So if a person wants to put you on the field as a kicker in the there's this hospital chain out here called Kaiser. And listen, this hospital chain is so good. I know people like my mom, bro. My mom was willing to take a job as a damn near. My mom got a PhD too, right? She's a doctor. Doctor. You know what I'm saying? Dr. West Coast, PhD, Dr. West Coast, right? And my mom, I remember a time when my mom was so, I don't want to use the word desperate. I hate that word desperate, but she was so turned up, I guess, about getting into Kaiser. Listen, I'll be a janitor. I'll work as a janitor for a couple weeks, for a couple months, and work my way up into the medical. I just want to get in.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, man, listen, it's all about being put in position to succeed. No, he tried playing outside corner at the NFL level. It has not worked out so far. You know what I'm saying? So you have very limited opportunities, like West Coast
for various reasons, though. Let's because I'm gonna just say something real quick. A lot of times, guys, let's think about this. I'm gonna tell you guys the reason why we never heard of J-Ron Curse, because they had that Harrison kid in front of him. He's a dog.
Yeah.
And they had that other boy, Anthony Harris, that was in front of him, who was dogs. So when J-Ron Curse came over here, everybody's like, who is he? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with you. Kelvin Joseph, imagine the type of cornerback. Even I'm not gonna say it didn't work out with him on the corner, because I think he obviously had it. He needed time to grow in the position. But
listen, I'm just saying as of right now, you know what I'm saying? Like it hasn't panned out at this moment. And when you all are constantly bringing in new players, like they brought guys in for free agency, you bring guys in through the draft. You get limited opportunities to prove yourself when you get on the field. So I'm just saying, as of right now,
that is a good observation, HTM. Also, you got to understand this, everybody. He was only there at a spoonful of reps, even at cornerback. It's not like he went through 3 or 4 games at that spot and he totally dropped the ball there. I think that even with cornerback spot, it takes time for you to get your feet together and get in rhythm and understanding the speed and the pace of the game. Keep this in mind. Terry McLaurin, year 1 versus my guy Trayvon Diggs owned him, right? Cooked him. And as a wide receiver landlord, you know about that. Once you get over that, once you make sure you own that person, you're going to rub it all in their face until they stop you. So Trayvon Diggs was able and awarded to get that chance back on him. And I don't think that he even got close to dominating Trayvon Diggs ever again.
No, never did.
I
guess that's part of the thing too. Like you said, it was very limited amount of snaps that he got to play, but they've already addressed cornerback 2 with Stephon Gilmore. We've seen the emergence of Deron Bland. So, you know, there's guys that, you know, you can almost pencil in to get some snaps at cornerback. So, you know, I think he'll have a better chance at safety. I just know
you're right about that, though, as far as like the limitations he had at corner. Of course, he didn't had a best showing when he did get his opportunities, but I think we do need to give a little grace, man. We got to be honest. We've been dealing with Anthony Brown for years, so we've been seeing him get cooked left and right. He did do decently at times too. I don't want people to think that we just, you know, dogging him out, because Anthony Brown gave us some quality years too. But at the same time, we've been dealing with his struggles and his learning curve as well. So I think you do got to give players like Kelvin Joseph that kind of grace, especially when he ain't had a whole lot of reps in his league. You know what I'm saying? So I think we do got to take that into perspective as well.
And I'm gonna tell you though, this is the point I was trying to make with Kelvin Joseph is this. I think the worst thing that's happened to Kelvin Joseph is Trevon Diggs, bro. Like you got
probably Deron Bland.
No,
Deron Bland might be the worst.
Before that, yeah.
No.
Okay.
Not even Deron Bland. I mean, not even Deron Bland, because Deron Bland's only played 1 year in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? That Deron Bland, no offense, but he could literally just follow. He could literally just go back to being a 5th round pick. You know what I'm saying? And if Deron Bland doesn't get an interception this year, he's still fine. Because you're a 5th round pick, he wasn't even supposed to be playing right now.
Yeah, the levels of expectation. But go ahead.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, Kelvin Joseph comes into a situation where you have Trevon Diggs, who's drafted in the same situation as you, 2nd round pick, same round. So it's like the expectations from fans is Trevon Diggs. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Trevon Diggs was not ready to start his rookie year. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. Anthony Brown was not ready to start his rookie year.
Hey, let him know how he got his rookie year. How he got that starting spot too.
Anthony Brown.
Year. You know, I'm talking about Trevon Diggs.
Listen to me. Listen, I don't want to say listen. The word I try to stay away from synonyms like decent, because when you say decent and okay and good, it doesn't give you a real longitude of what it really was. You know what I'm saying?
Representation.
Right. Exactly. So that's let's just, and I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I made a ton of content about being upset about the Dallas Cowboys starting Trevon Diggs his rookie year, because I just did not feel that. I don't feel that any cornerback, especially drafted in the 2nd round, unless they actually show you is ready to start on the outside. You know
I didn't feel like Trey was a 2nd rounder though. I thought it was a steal. I feel like he was a 1st round.
He was first round, but I'm gonna tell you
that's why I went looking at it like a 2nd round to play. I'm looking at it when we drafted Trevon Diggs, bro. I got the hollering in my car. I was like, man, that's a steal, bro. I don't think people realize that. So when we gave him the opportunity, I'm like, he deserved it. That's what I was thinking.
Well, what happened?
He did not play like he didn't play like no first. But
our whole defense was terrible though, Wiz.
Yes, but we're not. Listen to me. We're not talking about the entire defense. We're talking about cornerbacks. The Trevon Diggs cornerback rookie year. We can't look at the entire defense. We got to look at them 6 touchdowns he gave up. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. We put this frame on Kelvin Joseph because of expectations from other guys. Think about this. Trevon Diggs came to the same bad defense. Kelvin Joseph came to the same bad defense. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, the other example I was using too is you have the expectations of another guy that's playing well. And on top of that, you have to then play yourself out of the room. I'm not trying to make any excuses for Kelvin, but I will say this. The thing that he did excel in, that he did have opportunity to excel in, special teams. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say for the special teams aspect is what allows you to not necessarily say give up, because I don't think you should ever be giving up on a 2nd round pick unless you tell me that you were expecting him to play in the 1st or 2 rounds. I mean, the 1st or 2 years. That's why I say there has to be a difference between Kelvin Joseph and Trevon Diggs, because like you guys were saying, Trevon Diggs was viewed as a steal. Kelvin Joseph was not viewed that way.
And it's because of course, the surrounding people that was available at the time. And think about this: you had the other kid. What's his name? That went to the Chargers. Asante. So you had him, and then you had the other guys that was around that pick. But when you look at Trevon Diggs, of course, we had, when we were doing our draft analysis, we had him right up there. Well, I had him above AJ Terrell, right?
I did too.
So for the Cowboys getting him in the 2nd round and AJ Terrell going before even CeeDee Lamb, I believe, right? It was a good for us. It was a plus for us, you know.
Exactly.
Hey, shout out to Ray Moore. I think this dope right here. He said, when we come together, our new name should be New Media. That's dope.
I like
That's
that.
dope. That's dope. Shout out to you, sir.
I think Boss, I ain't gonna lie. Hey, shout out to my boy Christian Lowe. I think with the $5 super chat, I think Boss already came up with a name. He calling it the Cowboys universe. What do you say? Cowboys
DC universe.
DC universe. And I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. That does sound sort of dope. I ain't gonna lie.
That is dope.
I ain't gonna lie. I did. It does sound kind of fire. I ain't gonna lie.
I think he said Tuck came up with it. I don't know. One of them. It's between him and Tuck.
Tuck is the one that got me on Marvel, so I would not be surprised if it was Tuck that came up because that sounds like some Tuck does. Tuck is
we got some creative guys in this space.
We do, man. We do got some creative guys.
A movie will come out with Tuck, and he'll go see it before his kids do. I love Tuck.
No doubt, man. Oh, and keep in mind the reason why Trayvon Diggs started too, because remember that Cheeto Awuzie? He got hurt.
Oh, okay.
So injury. You know, reason why Deron Bland got a chance. Oh, you remember Jordan Lewis got hurt? Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that was a good one. But like one thing I do want to say about Kelvin before we move on, you gotta say this is a guy that's really trying his best though. Cause he could have went and just tucked his tail when they put him on special team. This is a second round pick. This is a pride thing, bro. Like if you ain't never played football, like man, it's certain things the coach tell you to do. You might have a little frown on your face, but you got to know, like, man, I gonna do it for the team. Kelvin went out there and played like a dog in special team. Like, I made a whole video about him, man. This boy going down there gunning wide open, making plays. So, I mean, that right there is a testament. Like, it's a good representation to what kind of heart he got, what kind of fight he got in him. Because I'm telling you, I know plenty of guys who would have went and sat at the end of the bench with a sad face and went and never recover from that. So I give him a little respect for that right there, no lie.
And listen to me, I don't like bringing up people's past and stuff like that. So we already know the obvious, but you know, I think like this. It's like my boy Young Jeezy always say, we always gonna be on, but it's all, you know, the real trappers are defined about a re-up game. You know what I'm saying? How you get it, lose it, and get it back. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you, you know, him to even get mentioned in Pro Bowl accolations at any position after everything that happened in the offseason, in my opinion, lets me know that this kid does have the mental aptitude. He does have the mental tenacity to go out there and do it. And I'm going to tell you this right now. We can say whatever the hell we want to say, but I'm going to tell you this right now. Have you guys noticed that I'm not going to say the black sheep because I don't like calling anybody the black sheep, but have you guys noticed in the last 2 years, in playoff games when we needed a play, it's been these very players who we've always wanted to give up on, or we've always wanted to be like, they can't do this, or they can't do this, or they can't do that.
It was Anthony Brown last year, and then it was Kevin Joseph this year.
The last 2 years in the playoffs, it has been the two guys that have been who this nation has wanted to give up, who has gotten you the football.
That's a great point, Wes. No lie. That's a great point.
Anthony Brown 2021 in AT&T Stadium. I'm going to be honest with you. Me and Tuck was right above me, literally standing right above me. And I know I was praying for a turnover. I know, and guess what?
We needed
it, and they didn't even need to throw the ball. They were up by 6.
Yeah.
And guess what? He threw a screen, threw a floater. Anthony Brown stepped in front of him and took it. San Francisco, the game in San Francisco, that boy on special teams went down there as a gunner and got that ball for us, man.
And then we with that kind of testament to how the nation was kind of viewing Kelvin too, man, because I don't think he got his proper respect for that. That was a big play right there, man.
Bro,
that was a huge play.
I'm going to tell you this like this. That play's so huge, if we win that game, we probably don't even get this interview. Bro, he get that interview, bro. You're looking at one of the biggest plays in the Dallas Cowboys playoffs in the last since what?
The 90s.
90s easily, bro. That's a defining moment, bro.
Just imagine if he would have been sad, you know, running half speed down the field that play. Because I'm telling you, bro, y'all got to know human nature. That man got demoted, and he still was motivated. That ain't easy. He went down there flying down the field and made a play. Like, hey, my hat's off to him for that.
Just got to make some plays, man. 2023 season, this will be the tell-all year, man. He going to have to show up because we got other hungry guys that's on this team that need to get a chance, too.
All right.
Absolutely. You got Eric Scott and all these young corners coming in here. We going to see what's up.
And you mentioned Scott, man. They traded up for that boy. So you know they high on him.
Yep.
Mhm.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you guys some other stuff that I've noticed in the nation too. I was gonna put this up on the clicker, but my guy Overshawn, the linebacker out of Texas, J-Ron Curse tweeted something that I thought was very interesting. He tweeted some with some eyeballs that said he didn't even know that that they played the same position. So it looks like I'm gonna tell you this right now. Position flex in the Dallas Cowboys nation almost seems more important than the Dallas. Like for you to be able to play two positions, in my opinion, almost seems more important than the Dallas Cowboys than you being good at one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like versatility. The Cowboys, that's something that they're very, very high here. You know what I'm saying?
Especially on defense. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to be able to do that, especially when you think about Dan Quinn's. He want to be able to disguise the Mike, and if you got a guy that can play Mike and get onto the edge, this will be even more of a threat with Parsons now. So if you got a guy that's versatile, then we will see this defense scale even more. And that's why we even like the Mozzie pick, because now you got a guy that will play one tech, but now he's going to be introduced and playing three tech. So this is going to keep everybody on their heels. If you got multiple guys that can play multiple roles up on front and on linebacker and on safety, those three levels, man, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you do see that a lot, man, especially with a guy like Overshawn. He has a safety background, play primarily linebacker at Texas. And you could really say the same about J-Ron Curse. Even though quote unquote on paper it said he's a safety, that boy got the green dot. He's in the box a majority of the time. They bring him on pressures. Same with Donovan Wilson. That man had 5 sacks last year. So it's all about moving around these guys along the defense. And the way that I usually try and picture it is like Dan Quinn is a chess player, and all the guys are chess pieces on the board. That he gets to move around. You might be a pawn on this play, you might be the king on the next. You know what I'm saying? So it's just really about the versatility of the defense, being able to have multiple fronts and looks. But I like it, man. A lot of these guys are fast, long, athletic. So I don't really see an issue with position flex, especially now since they, in my opinion, have gotten the defensive tackle position correct. They kept Hankins. They brought in Mozzie Smith, and you're going to be small, right there behind it. You can't be small up front too. So I think they did everything they needed to do to make this something that's that can last. That something can be last and be effective.
I love the versatility, like you said. Like, I feel like most of the times you can get away with the smaller linebackers and J-Ron Curse and Donovan Wilson them, but I feel like we really get that ideology tested when we go up against the running teams. Most teams ain't running. You know what I'm saying? But now I feel like he addressed that with Mozzie Smith. Now he gonna be able to stuff them up so the guards won't be able to get to the next level. Now our smaller hybrid safety linebackers can go in there and make some noise. Because like I said, we got to get ready for the boss fights. The boss fights is the San Francisco 49ers and the Eagles. Them the guys that run the ball. Most of the NFL throwing the ball most of the time. So people like J-Ron Curse and Donovan Wilson, they good in that area because they covering. No, but when it comes to like smashing mouth running the football, which we probably won't see until playoff time, you know what I'm saying? That's what we be mad at because we don't have the we don't be able to match wits with some of these guys. But I think Dan Quinn, with adding Mozzie Smith, I think we didn't really kind of address that issue now.
Yeah, and I wanna put up a quote real quick from my boy Mozzie. If you can read that, who can see it real quick? If you can see it, read it real quick. Can everybody see that quote real quick?
Yeah, I can see it. It says a lot of people talk about my pass rushing from college, but I never had a pass rush plan. We're gonna get a plan and see what I can do. I was a run stopper at Michigan, and if we were gonna win a game, it was gonna have to stop the run.
Pause.
That's what.
Listen,
Law.
Law.
Focus on.
No, Law. Wait, come out, Law. You ain't been to, obviously you ain't been to my pastor's church. Because I'm gonna tell you this right now. Listen to me. It's some stuff. You see when it's red in the Bible, that means Jesus talking.
Yeah, okay.
I need you to run that sentence back, young man, because you're glazed over it. Somebody's salvation. Somebody needs to hear that, Law.
Okay. So you want me to rev it up just a little bit, huh? You know, I know he helped Joshua fit the battle of Jericho. He helped Jericho off the island. Yes.
Can I get an amen in the church?
Amen.
A run stopper. You know what I'm saying? That's what
Somebody hit the organ, please.
And he said,
Somebody hit
and
the
if we were going to win the game, amen, slap your neighbor and tell him if we were going to win the game. Yeah. I was going to stop the run. That's what I was focused on. Can I get an amen? You know?
Amen. Preach it, Pastor. Preach.
Wow.
Now, this is Deacon West Coast. I appreciate you, Pastor Law. Ushers, go ahead and get them buckets floating. Appreciate you, get them going. Right?
Pump that collection plate out there.
The doors of the church are open.
Oh my God! Hey, bro. Hey, R.I.P. Reverend Dunwood, man.
R.I.P. Reverend.
R.I.P.
You know,
Henny, you a fool for that, bro. He said, "The church of the doors are open." You a fool for that. R.I.P. Reverend Dunwood. Hey, man, listen to me. There's some stuff that's just so good, bro. You gotta say it over, bro. When a player says this, man, listen to me. As a coach, I hear a player at any position say this. You know what I say? He understands it, bro.
Yeah.
He says, if we were gonna win a game, there is no we. I thought football was a team sport. There's no we. I was gonna have to stop the run. Bro, I love
he understood the assignment, like the young people say.
Bro. I love
he understood the assignment.
Yeah. And if we going to win games down in the playoff, we need to stop the run. And
he needs to stop the run. Yeah. I like that accountability, man. That's coming from a rookie. He understands, like, he don't have to have the shiny, glamorous stats. All he got to do is the dirty work, and it sounds like he ready for it. He here for it. I love to hear that coming from a defensive tackle. Like, he know what he need to be doing.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you this right here. You know, when I hear a defensive tackle saying he wants to stop the run, that's just like me hearing a fullback say he want to blow people up, right?
You want to block folks. Yeah.
Listen to me. If my fullback's talking about scoring touchdowns, running the ball, bro, you're not my fullback. I'm sorry. You're running back.
You're running back.
Just go try it. Yes, just go try it. Because listen to me. My fullback is probably going to get one carry a year, and that's going to be that thank you carry in game 17 when I give you a free touchdown. That's it. Other than that, you're running into people.
Blowing folks off the ball.
Folks off the ball. Because a lot of people, when you hear like running backs, you hear all of that. But even if we go all the way back to 2016, you know, and you think about the person who did all of the dirty work so that Ezekiel Elliott can eat. Keith Smith, man, he was like, hey, I'm a linebacker, but I'm going to play fullback and I'm going to knock somebody out. I'm looking for someone to hit. It's these small, subtle things that goes a long way, Cowboy Nation. And when Mozzie said those things, we'll be looking for the results from what he said.
Yes, and I'm going to tell you what I love about this is, because the one thing about it is we're all fathers on here, right? So when we come home and something's broke, I'm gonna tell you what we want. We want someone to take accountability of it, right? And it's like even the ladies gotta learn it sometime. Because the first time as soon as you walk in, you know who's the biggest title teller in the house. Wife, girlfriend. As soon as you get home, you telling all them kids, like, such and such was doing this, such and such was doing this. You know what I mean? And you know what I tell my kids? Hey, you see your mama, right? She a snitch, right? You see her, right? You better know what you're supposed to do because your mama gonna tell on you. You know what I'm saying? But the one thing I be looking for, or all of us be looking for when we come in the house as a man, is
accountability.
Somebody just tell me, hey, daddy, I broke your TV.
You know my kids bad. They gonna team up and say nobody did it. So now I gotta get the belt.
Now everybody
I got to get the belt.
But listen to me. I love the fact when you have a team and you have a team saying we have a problem, this is our fix. So oftenly we have had a problem with something and we haven't necessarily said this is what we're going to do to fix it. We've just kind of said we have a problem, or sometimes the Cowboys haven't even acknowledged it. This is probably the first time in years I think that the Cowboys have clearly acknowledged we have a problem stopping the run. At least go find someone who has a responsibility to do that. Now I'm gonna tell you this right now. If it doesn't work, you technically can't even get mad at the Cowboys. You want to know why? Because, bro,
They tried.
They put a first round pick in trying.
They tried now.
They tried. Yeah, it should collectively work. And on top of that, boy, when we get up by 2 or 3 scores, it's over. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna work even more.
You remember Mr. Burns say, "Release the hounds. We're gonna release them hounds on them, boy."
Yeah, because
Mike and them coming.
Because think about this, fellas. Our D tackles have really none of our D tackles have ever been in a situation where they are now not like because like teams have always been successfully been able to run the ball on us, right? So our defensive tackles have never really needed to worry about sacks because it was never really going to happen. Why? Because we need to stop the run. So that's a great point, what you were saying, like when we get up or when these teams can't stop the run, then guess what? Now a guy like Mozzie Smith's going to be even more effective now because now they're not even running the ball.
You seen how happy Michael was when we drafted him. He know what time it is,
what he
man.
Saying, no more quarterback sneaks.
He said no more QB sneak, AJ. He called him out. He let him know.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to tell y'all something real quick because we talked about how being versatile is a dope thing, but I feel like Micah Parsons might have a disagreement with being versatile because I see him. It feels like the closer he gets to being eligible to get a contract, the less versatile he wants to be. You know what I'm saying? Kind of looks like Micah Parsons wants to be a defensive end. Doesn't sound like Mike. It doesn't. Everything that I've heard and seen on video camera, everything points to Micah Parsons is trying to run it up. He's trying to run the sack number up. What are y'all thoughts?
The thing about it is he is a defensive end. I don't know why we doing this fantasy land. He is. They played him 700 plus snaps. Like whether you agree how they using him or not, if we talking about reality, where he played, I use this analogy. I said, if your son was getting played 700 plus snaps at defensive end and then only 100 at linebacker, what position would you tell your son he is? He's a defensive end. Like that's just the reality of the situation. Now, whether you agree with how DQ using him, that's neither here nor there. But in reality, he is a defensive end, basically.
Right.
Yep.
And even if you consider him a linebacker, he's an outside linebacker. He ain't no middle. He an edge, wherever you want to classify these guys at. You know, you don't a linebacker doesn't get 13 and a half sacks. If Michael Parsons was a guy, getting like 400, tackles a season or something crazy, then you could say he's a linebacker. But like this man is out there getting sacks, getting pressures. Matter of fact, if you go back and just look at his cumulative numbers, he has more sacks his first 2 years than DeMarcus Ware did. And we all know that DeMarcus Ware is the Dallas Cowboys all-time sack leader. So, I definitely think, it's all about semantics. Linebacker money is not the same as defensive end money. Defensive end are getting like wide receiver kind of cash. You will find only one linebacker is going to make $20 million a year this year, and that's Roquan Smith. So if anything, I think Michael Parsons want to make sure that he's going to get that bag, he get enumerated as he's supposed to get enumerated, because just be honest with it. At the end of the day, we can't always say that the Dallas Cowboys front office handle these contracts the best way. You know what I'm saying? Like we seen them try a penny pitch and try to get guys to sign deals for below market value. I think Michael Parsons just trying to set himself up so he doesn't have to worry about it.
It was kind of alarming. It's gonna be quick. It was kind of alarming to see Stephen Jones act like he ain't care what position he played. Yeah, right. Like, cheek man. Do you care? Like, don't lie to us, sir.
Yeah, this is what I also think too. Like, I think Micah Parsons knows that the Dallas Cowboys will have no problem making him the highest paid linebacker in football. Like, I think he knows that. But
we're gonna have to see that though. The Jones is gonna do the Joneses thing though. But keep going.
Bill Jones.
No, what I'm saying, think about this: if Micah Parsons is the highest paid linebacker in football, he just shorted himself. That's what I was saying. Like, it's a kind of a trick question, right? It's a trick answer, right? Michael, we're gonna make you the highest paid linebacker in football, but at the same time, you're not even going to be a top 5 paid defensive end.
Right. Did you see what they projecting? I think they projecting Bosa to be the first defensive player to make over 30. And then they saying that Michael would be around like 32. So hey, I hope they know what I'm saying? It matters if he's gonna be a defensive end or not. It does.
And Michael don't play no type of linebacker. None.
Yeah, none. Like 100 snaps. What is that?
Barely 100 snaps.
Yeah,
and
so
then
I can't wait to see how all of this stuff works out, man. But You know, they still got to fry the Diggs situation before you get to Parsons. You still got to pay Lamb. I think you still have to pay, believe it or not, Terrence Steele. Now, Parsons, trust me, you know, when I think of Parsons, I do think of this. Let's go, man. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Yeah. You know, just hearing Parsons make you want to put on the pads and play. But you got to still do your priorities first, right? You still got to make sure that you re-solidify that offensive line with Terrence Steele as well as with Lamb, with the wide receiver and Diggs. So how you think that they're going to work that out before Parsons?
Well, this is the thing. You need to
a priority, though.
I was going to say this real quick, just so. Really should pay Dak first, and I'm going to tell you why. Just from a financial standpoint, getting an extension done with Dak Prescott will save the Dallas Cowboys anywhere between $26.2 million and $39 million against the cap next year. So you know, like you theoretically will free up enough cap space to sign all those guys and a free agent if you wanted to. You know what I mean? Point. And then you get another $10 million on June the 2nd from Ezekiel Elliott. So the Dallas Cowboys are swimming in money. Don't let them lie to you.
That's the order of operations they need to be in, though. That's a great point.
That's the house note that need to be paid.
And I'll tell y'all the thing about the Dallas Cowboys too is they need to stop viewing the number one thing the Cowboys need to do is they need to stop viewing Dak Prescott as all these other guys. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, Dak Prescott's contract becomes like, even if you had nobody to sign, you still need to do Dak Prescott. Like Dak Prescott, like quarterbacks need to be literally taking out of the equation of everybody else because their position is so much more important. You know what I'm saying?
And so then the market's so crazy.
Exactly. So it's like no matter like what you do with Diggs should have nothing to do with you do with Dak because Dak still has to get done regardless. You know and it's like the thing with Dak Prescott is, you know, the Cowboys restructured, which I think was crazy because you instead of vying from a restructure, you should have just extended him. Why? Because you would have had more money right then.
Right then.
You'd have more money right then. So think about this. Even like we're gonna literally restructure Dak because you're gonna have to at some point. They're gonna extend him at some point, and then we're gonna have money after we leave the store. Like imagine you going to the store, to the candy store, asking for all this stuff. Your mama's like, I ain't got no money. You crying, walking out of the store. Then she get in the car and she be like, here, shut up. Take this $20. What is that going to do for me? You're not going to take me back to the store.
But you already know how it goes, Wes. Here's it go. Here's how they sound. But Wes, you're wrong. and Dak Prescott is trash, and we keep losing because of Dak Prescott. He's the reason why I would not extend him. We'll be more doom and gloom.
This is where I think people we need to bring it down to layman's terms for the market. Because I don't think people really be getting the idea of the market. Like I look at it like, okay, you ever bought a pair of Jordans? I don't know if y'all ever know about Jordans. They cost a certain amount. This is my point. True. They cost a certain amount. It don't matter if you like them or not. They still cost this much. You know what I'm saying? You might be in love with this pair. You might hate this pair, but they all cost a certain amount. That's the market right there in a nutshell. You're going to still have to pay $200+ for them, whether you love them or you hate them.
Although you got to pay it, you got to also want it, though. You know, that's the thing. So do the Cowboys really want Dak Prescott? You know, that would be the whole conversation, because if you want it really, you know, you would have did the extension earlier. Not saying that the Cowboys don't want Dak Prescott, but collectively their actions speak like, hey, you know, let's see how this season go before we get the chance of extending him, and what that price of that bag gonna do if you don't.
Go up. It's just digging ourselves an even worse hole, though. And it seems like they ain't learned their lesson from, because betting against Dak, that was my argument. I said, why don't you bet with your quarterback for once? Yeah, they've been betting against Dak the whole time. And what he been doing? Tearing them up when it comes to the money. Tearing them up.
I'm going to say this one thing real quick.
Talk to me.
Do we know that they didn't try to give Dak Prescott an extension?
I don't believe they did.
Well, it takes two to tango.
It takes two to tango. And like, why would Dak Prescott rush to sign a contract with them anyway?
Why wouldn't that get leaked out?
And then his agent ain't gonna want to be jumping the gun either.
And you know who his agent? His agent is the same guy that signed Pat Mahomes, right? You know, they work with the same conversation, right? Mm-hmm. So
they got a reputation to uphold when it comes to that money. Like, and the agents they pretty much make the market when you think about it. Cause like they want to make sure they get top dollar. They want that to be their selling point. I got Dak Prescott this much. You know what I'm saying? That's how they want to sell the other players.
I'll keep it real. I don't believe the Cowboys offered him an extension. One, because I could tell the disappointment when Dak. I remember there was a conversation at Dak Prescott, and they were talking about his restructure, and they were like, it could be one of those things we just wake up and it's just done. The reason why I believe that they didn't offer him an extension, because you got to remember, to extend someone, I got to call your agent. To restructure, I got to call my lawyer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a great point.
If an extension, I have to get you to agree with me. You know what I'm saying? And a restructure, I don't got to get you to agree with it. It's already in your contract. I just call my lawyer and say, hey, paragraph 6, we're going to go ahead and do that. Then you'll get a memo. You'll get an email from me saying you've been restructured.
Hey, the restructure is me moving my money to this account to that account. It ain't got nothing to do with you.
Exactly. It ain't got nothing to do with you. And I'm going to tell you this right here. I think after the Dallas Cowboys, have you guys noticed when the Dallas Cowboys have these contract negotiations that don't necessarily go their way, they're less inclined to work with those players again, bro. Like, I'm just being real with you. Like, they're less inclined. Like Dalton Schultz, they weren't able to get a deal with him on him last year, and guess what? They were less inclined to try to get with a deal this year.
You know what I'm saying? That's Tony Pollard fate coming along down the pipeline.
Well, let me finish this. Let me finish this point, and then I'll say this. Okay. I don't think the Dallas Cowboys ever want to do a deal with Zeke's agent again, and I don't think the Cowboys ever want to do a deal with Dak Prescott's agent again. Why? Because they didn't win on the deals.
Right. And Arsenal really won. Yeah.
They didn't win on neither one of those deals. They didn't win on Dak's. They didn't want to make Dak. They didn't want to give Dak that money. Now,
let me ask you this though, Wes, because David Cantor is D-Law's agent, and he whooped him up three times.
Mopping the floor with them boys.
He's mopping them. And David Cantor is not a guy that will hold his tongue. He would let them know. He was like, we all know that the salary cap can be manipulated, and y'all are bullsugaring us along with this whole process. And keep in mind, there's future money. So what you guys got to do is, and I get the people that's going to hate us about talking about the contract money with Dak Prescott because they think we are all Dak Prescott apologists. But no, this is how this thing goes. If this particular Dak Prescott get extended, it's not going to hurt because this salary cap about to do what in the next few years?
Jump crazy.
It's gonna go crazy. So it'll be wise for the Cowboys to go ahead and get in front of this before the other kid get his bag that plays in Cincinnati land, and before anybody else get their money, because now you will be in on the front end of it, and you can start working and utilizing Terrence Steele, because you think Terrence Steele going to want less money than what Big La'el Collins got?
Nope.
Hey, shout out to Mr. Anthony Gonzalez. He says, my appreciation to Law and your channel. Congratulations on 100K, Law. Hit on Law Nation Sports, heads up. Appreciate the $20 super, man. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man.
Indeed.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's, the contracts are all solid, but I say it like this. Like, I think the number one thing that people fail to memorize is this. If you don't do it right, you don't have his skill set. Like, and I think that's like the biggest thing that it's like, that's the thing that people you don't miss it until you don't have it no more. Like when you have Dak on your team and Dak is playing quarterback, it makes you think that, every quarterback is going to play at least this good. But
privilege is invisible to those who have it.
I'll say this right now. As soon as you don't have it, you instantly miss it. Like, I'm going to tell you, I'm a good example. A kicker. We didn't know what the hell a good kicker was until we didn't have one.
You need it.
Have one. But guess what? I think since Dan Bailey's left, I think we all have a firm grasp on the importance of a kicker. I always said this. If you know your kicker's name, that means he's really, really good or he's really, really bad. There's no in between.
Look, do you think it go down to the smallest detail, like to long snapper too? Because we just changed our long snapper. Like, he do a mistake. Now we like, dang, what happened to our good long snapper? Do you think it go down that far?
Well, LP, I think LP retired. He was our snapper. He was our snapper for like 16 years. Yeah. In positions like that, I think, and when it comes to positions like that, I think it has to do with your relationship with the special teams coach. Like, you're not gonna tell me you couldn't have upgraded your long sniper in 16
20 years.
I mean, I think that they got rid of him because he was in this politically, me speaking, you know, you can say whatever you want, you know, he was going to get that record for the longest tenured player, snap player on the team. And I think it was going to trump a certain other player number there. But that's a whole nother storyline. It was no reason to get rid of LP Lattisaw.
You probably don't want your long snapper to have that record either. That's you think about it. Yeah.
My question is, I mean, do you want your quarterback to be your all-time passing leader? Because I mean, they stopped Dak from doing that. Dak was 6 yards from breaking the Dallas Cowboys passing record. 6 yards. You know what they did? They stopped them. They pulled them.
Man, they love those numbers, man.
I'm about Dak.
Yes.
2019.
I thought that was just an admirable thing Dak did. You think they just did it?
They pulled him. He did not want to go out the game.
Bro,
I didn't know that.
Landlord, think about this. That was the same year Dak was trying to get the bag, bro.
Yeah.
Imagine the Cowboys trying to pull, we don't want to play the all-time passing leader.
Yep. Most yards in a singular season. You know,
imagine trying to not play that guy.
And he went off that year. The team just didn't do that great all together.
But did you see that they actively went and got him the most passing touchdowns in a season after they paid him?
38.
Because he ended up getting that. He ended up throwing 5 touchdowns against the Eagles. They kept
got to get that confirmation.
Yeah, they kept him in there when they didn't have to at that point. But you know, when they were trying to negotiate his number, try to keep that number down a little bit, they went ahead like, yeah, you come sit over here with me, Dak.
I think it's an element to that privilege that we talk about with Dak too. And there's a lot of people who, you know, they probably won't agree, but I mean, look, since you had Dak Prescott, your team been competitive. I don't know if you realize that it's teams that would love to be competitive, just to have a seat at the table. There's a lot of teams that don't have that luxury. And Dak been giving you 10 plus wins every year. You're not gonna win the Super Bowl every year, man. Most GMs want a seat at the table or a chance in the fight. That's what most teams want.
Hey, that's a great point. I'm gonna tell you, I'm actually dropping a video today, Lord, and it go like this. And I got an opportunity to interview on El Paso ESPN 600 radio. Shout out to them.
Congrats on that too, man.
Salute.
Yeah, shout out to them, and shout out for Cowboys packages, man, for making all that mess happen, man. Treat the boy real good. Appreciate y'all. Y'all need them Cowboys packages. Y'all need to highlight them boys. Matter of fact, I'm gonna drop a link later. But man, you know, I look at what we're talking about. Where was we going with this? I lost my point real quick.
I was talking about how privileged we are with Dak winning the games and stuff.
Okay, my mind went blank. My mind went blank.
I was basically saying like how GMs want to sit at the table of being competitive most of.
Oh yes, thank you, Jesus. Thank you.
Yeah.
So yes, bro, on air, they asked me, in your opinion, were the Dallas Cowboys successful last year? And I'm gonna tell you this right here. I think that's one of the hardest questions to ask because you have to answer it in 2 ways, right? And I answered it both ways. In Landlord, I basically said what you said. Like I said, and I'm dropping this video today. I said, you know, from a fan standpoint, any year that you don't win a Super Bowl, you feel it's a failure, right? But from a business standpoint, on the other side, and from a content creator's standpoint, I actually feel like last year was a success because your team did actually get better. And shout out to Anthony Gonzalez with the $20 super chat on Law Nation's page. It was a success. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's always about your perception. Because think about this. You don't hear Eagles fans saying that last year was a failure. You don't. You don't hear. You know what I'm saying? And think about this. And what it really comes down is this. The Dallas Cowboy fans, ours as a general, we come into NFL seasons with a higher expectations than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? And even looking at the NBA, when you have like the Memphis Grizzlies, one would think that would have been the biggest debacle of the NBA season. Like, bro, they were a team that was projected to be in the Eastern Finals. Their star got suspended twice, and they got bumped in the first round. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, the Cowboys, and that's what I said on air, like, the Cowboys, we just have that expectation. Even if we don't fix the problems from the prior year, the expectation is still for the Dallas Cowboys to be competitive and to compete for a championship. I love it, but guess what? It's a gift and it's a curse.
Every year we are expected to win. Not just look, people say, can you at least get to the NFC championship game? No, that's still not good for us. You know, look, Danny White, how many times he went there, you know, and look how they raked him over the coals.
Look at Aaron Rodgers.
Super Bowl, it's still Super Bowl or bust. Those are levels of expectations. You know, now granted, in my lifespan, I don't know what it feels like to go to the Super Bowl and lose, you know, but I would tell you that what the Eagles been doing and talking about, yeah, they still happy because their team made it to the Super Bowl to ultimately lose and try to put that in our face. Nah, that is not considered a success story. That's still a failure, even if they made it all the way to the top. And I've been trying to tell them that, look, just because their quarterback made it, that doesn't mean that he's promised to go back. Look,
man, they haven't done it. Like
the
last couple quarterbacks that lost their Super Bowl debut have not went back.
Yeah,
and he didn't make it. His team made it.
Yeah. So you guys are right on the money with that, you know. So what's that chart? Did you have it HTM on the teams that made it to the Super Bowl, the first debut and never made it back?
I have it here somewhere. I got it on my phone. Matter of fact, let me get.
at the end of the day, the Super Bowl is the hardest. It is the hardest championship. It is the truest. It's the truest champ. It's the truest. I would say that in the World Cup, man. The World Cup are by far the two hardest trophies you can win in all of sports. And listen to me, we're not trying to put no excuses on anything, but we're trying to set realistic expectations, because I think sometimes we be killing ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, we be killing ourselves, like expecting, and some of this stuff, like, we allow other people's success to kind of dictate the success that's supposed to happen with current guys. Like, and I think that's how we even started this conversation off with Kelvin Joseph. Like, you know, other guys' success before them will kind of put those expectations on them. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna tell you a guy that's gonna fall into a trap is a guy named Deron Bland. Because I'm gonna tell you this right now: if Deron Bland only gets one interception this year, fans are gonna look like he fell off.
Yeah. So
I'm telling y'all this right now: be prepared for that, because there's film on him now, so he may not get all the interceptions, but it doesn't matter. He fell off.
Fans, man, they were saying last year, "Hey, man, Deron Bland, technically, he's better than Trayvon Diggs." I said, "Come on, man."
Come on now. You know I'm huge on Deron Bland, but I ain't gonna say nothing crazy like that.
That's too far.
Yeah, but I think long as he have a solid year, you know what I'm saying? I think that'll be decent. You can't really expect corners to just catch interceptions that high at that high of a clip on a regular basis. Like, you even seen Trey interceptions go down tremendously. But I just made an argument on my show that I think it might go back up this year for Trey. Because you got somebody on the other side that demands respect. So, hey, they might have to take more shots at Trey this year. So, you know he's going to catch them if you give him a chance.
All right, so I got that list pulled up. So all these quarterbacks have lost their Super Bowl debuts, and none of them went back. So we got Stan Humphries, Neil O'Donnell, Drew Bledsoe. As we know, he went back as a backup, but not as a starter. Chris Chandler, the late great Steve McNair, Kerry Collins, Rich Gannon with the cannon, Jake Delhomme, Donovan McNabb made that one Super Bowl appearance and never went back. Matt Hasselbeck had that one good year. Rex Grossman, who we know was not a good quarterback.
We know Cam Newton too.
Colin Kaepernick, then Cam Newton. Matty Ice, had a chance to win Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP in the same year, and they gave that game away literally. Jared Goff, who has switched teams since then. Jimmy Garoppolo, who has switched teams. The still young Joe Burrow, and then Jalen Hurts.
I made the case. I said, for all we know, Jalen Hurts might be Cam Newton. Who knows? And Cam had him MVP.
Yeah.
So everybody going head over heels for it, you know what I'm saying? But you never know. That's why I told you when I did my quarterback list, longevity and, a proven track record, that kind of trumped a lot of the other stuff. Now, maybe they high right now, they trendy right now, but that don't mean that they're gonna be able to sustain that level of play.
Consistency makes good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, and then just to piggyback off of everything we said, like, we also got to think about this. Like, at the end of the day, when it comes down to your quarterback and making plays, Dak Prescott and you winning a Super Bowl at the end of the day, if you guys notice, it's not really even being put on these quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Because if you go look at the Super Bowls that Patrick Mahomes has played, even the one where he got the MVP, there was other guys that actually played more important roles in those games. Like, let's just be real, that first Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl he won, the MVP of that game should have been Damian Williams, the running back, number 26.
No.
You know football, because that boy went off.
That boy did. That boy.
He went off, bro. In that game, they were down. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think like we have to understand that one, it's not just gonna be Dak. Dak might think about this. You might just need Dak to do what he did week 1. You know what I'm saying? Have that not week 1, but have that first playoff game. Like we shouldn't have needed Dak to do the same thing 2 weeks in a row. Like at some point, football. Look at the 49ers. Like, I mean, the 49ers, look at the Eagles. The Eagles, they won one way versus the Giants, and then they totally won a totally different way in the damn versus the 49ers. And it's like, that's what it's about. And to be honest with you guys, that's what, like, this weekend, and I ain't gonna put too much stuff out there, but this weekend I was with, a couple of Dallas Cowboy players, and I'm gonna tell you this right now. The offensive player that I was hanging out with, the guy who's gonna be on the show sometime next week, they were extremely excited about the departure of Kellen Moore.
Right.
And I'm telling you guys why. Because of that, what I just said right now, man. Because of what I just said right now. The mindset of going into games, man, we're going to do whatever we got to do to win a game.
To win the game, man. And I'm going to love it. I'm going to love it because going into this, could we go into the postseason? It would not be, hey, this offensive coordinator is going for an interview, or this coach on the offensive side is going to be interviewing for X, Y, and Z. They're going to be locked in and focus in on winning the playoff game. They're not going to be pulled this way and that way. And it's going to be all about this offense moving efficient and also quickly. I love that interview that you guys did with Jalen, because now we will be able to see an offense that's moving with an authority and with a purpose and a reason.
Yeah, he said a detailed, determined fix. And like I said, that's why I got it. When y'all did that show with Tuck, that was a great point that Jay Tuck did, man. Shout out to him, because he was like, you can tell that's coach speak. Like a player ain't just coming off the top of his head saying that like that. You know what I'm saying? A determined, detailed fix. That ain't what he's saying. That's whiteboard material right there. So that's exactly what's going across the locker room. That's the message that they drilling in their head.
Yes.
But shout out to Ant real quick with the 199. He says, if you love Cowboys, you should want that extended. And B Bird made a good point when we was talking about the records, the nefarious activity on the records. He said they brought Win back to break Dez touchdown record. Ugh.
And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think he even broke it, because he ended up breaking the record as an Oakland Raider.
No, he broke it for the Cowboys.
He did?
Oh, they made sure he got it.
Remember, because he came back. He came back.
But I thought Dez. But you know what? You are right. Dez has more career touchdowns than him, though, because he got the 3 in Baltimore. That's what that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But hey, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why. I'm gonna tell you why they care about those records, because in 20 years, nobody's gonna really know who Jason Witten is, but they're gonna say he's the Dallas Cowboys touchdown leader, and you can buy his jersey. You know what I'm saying? You can't really, at the end of the day, a large parts of this has to do with jersey sales, because, when you go into these AT&T stadiums, that's why the Cowboys like putting guys in these uniform numbers. There's a reason why CeeDee Lamb was going in that 88. You want to know why? Because there's no money to be made with an 88 with nobody in it. Why do you think listen to me. I'm pretty sure Stephon Gilmore wanted that 21 like Dion, but I have a feeling if we really pulled him to the side, I'll be like, Gilmore.
Hey, man, come here, man.
Hey, come here.
No, real quick.
Hey, Gilmore. Hey, Law. Let me holler at you, good Law. Hey, Law. Yeah. Hey, you really want that number, Law?
Hey, man.
Look, it's gonna be a CeeDee Lamb situation, man. Jerry,
you really want that
Jerry, man.
Hey, Law, just tip your hat. If you do, if you ain't got to snitch, you ain't got to snitch. I'm just saying, if there just so happened to be another number like your number at South Carolina that you probably could have wore in Dallas,
just keep breathing.
I'm
don't do nothing crazy. Keep breathing, because I know him.
I mean, you're a grown ass man. I mean, Stephon Gilmore, you're damn near 30 something. So maybe you do want to end your career, talking about Deion Sanders. I mean, you got kids. I would think my final year, I want to wear my college number. I mean, I got kids and stuff like that, but I'm just saying, maybe it's a coincidence. I don't know.
We understand. Hey, J-Rock, you really want to wear that 0? Yeah, man, I want to wear that 0. Well, you're gonna have to buy all the inventory.
I was just about to say,
go to the pro shop. I can't even go to the pro shop and find J-Ron Curse. Somehow somebody got $10 to $15 million worth of inventory. You still want that money? You still want that 0? And
I think that was financial. I was just about to say, I think that was financial because he backed up off of that. He said, "Nah, I'm good on that, bro."
I gotta get on down though, man. I gotta get back to work.
Last statement, then we're gonna let you out here, right? Well, if you gotta go, you gotta go. Hey, same thing I told you about Jalen Smith, and this is something truthful. Jalen Smith it was not his idea to change his number to number 9. That was not his idea. And I told you guys that. The reason why I told y'all that is because everybody was killing his ass for it. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Smith.
Romo number.
Yes, Jalen Smith changed his number to the number 9 and did not have to pay for it. You want to know why? Because Jerry Jones knew that there was more money in having that 9 on the field. And then guess what? As soon as Jalen left, what did they do? They gave it right to Turpin.
So y'all think the rookie gonna get it then, right? Overshawn, right? He gonna be 0.
Somebody Zero gonna have to sell, and it's gonna have to be somebody that's spectacular enough to get that number rolling.
You don't print. Listen to me. You don't print that 0 or jersey up until Law said exactly what he said.
That's what I'm feeling like. That's why I asked.
They waiting. That's why.
That's why I asked the question.
Genius, man.
Nobody. Because think about this. Nobody's ever had that number. So
right.
If you pay up all these jerseys and he don't play, who's gonna buy those jerseys?
I tell you one thing. If he do get 0, he gonna play. They gonna put him on the field.
No doubt.
Hey, man, we got to get up out of here, man. You guys already know what it is, man. Hey, Henny, let them know where you hail from and let them know where they're gonna find you at.
Yeah, man, it's your boy Henny the Moore reporting live from the liquor store. I appreciate everybody that tapped in with me. Show love to the channel. Wes, landlord, Law, always a pleasure. Thank y'all, and I will see y'all later on. I'll probably be live later on about 6 today, so tap in.
Hey, and also real quick, I'm gonna let Hitty go so we can get these last little things out. Also, real quick, we have the interview tomorrow, Kelvin Joseph, Wednesday, 7 p.m. and that's 7 p.m. Pacific time, and that's 9 p.m. Central time. And I'm gonna tell you this right here. This is what we're gonna do. We interviewed my boy Jalen Tolbert last week, and I'm gonna tell y'all what we trying to bring these guys to the nation, and we ain't being stingy with it, man. Because listen, we just gonna set the interview off, and after we set it off, guys like Law and Boss, they gonna get right on it, and then they just how your mama cooks something, but then it sit out overnight, and then you eat it and marinate for a little bit. You wake and be like, damn, it tastes even better. That's what we doing with these interviews, bro. We don't need ESPN. We don't need Fox Sports. We don't need those guys. As long as we got guys like Law, Boss, J Tuck that's putting our interviews and stuff like that, we don't need them dudes. You know what I'm saying? We don't need them. You know what I'm saying? So tomorrow, make sure you tune in 7 p.m. to watch the Kelvin Joseph interview. At the end, I'm gonna have some content creators like my boy Law Nation tap in so he can get a couple questions and things like that, because we sharing the wealth. 2023 is about content creators supporting other content creators. We've done 7-8 years of supporting the fans and supporting the nation and the Cowboys. I'm gonna tell you this right now. 2023, I'm supporting the other guys that's working just as hard as me, man. So we eating. I appreciate you. Law, congratulations on that 100 band. Man, let them know where they can find you. Well, they know he got 100,000 subscribers. So
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Obviously know where to find Law Nation.
But if you don't know Law, you've been sleeping on a rock.
You ain't a Cowboy fan if you don't know Law, I guess.
Hey, this boy Law Nation said if you Google the Dallas Cowboys, my name coming and our names coming. I didn't even know that. I Googled it while he said it, and I was like,
that boy ain't no joke.
I said, this fucking Law crazy. But hey, Law, let them know when you're going live again, my boy. Hey, and will you be able to slide in on the end of that interview though?
Yeah, I should be able to slide in, but tomorrow I will be live on the show with a group of ladies, and we'll be doing some good excerpt of information. And the name of their podcast is Bitches Talk Sports Too, or Bitches Love Sports Too. I love their platform. I can't believe I messed up their name like that.
You want to know why? Because You know why, Law? You know why, Law?
I'll try not to mess up the day.
Listen to me, Law. The professionalism in you kicked in when you was trying to say their name. But you got to remember, Law, that's their name, not yours.
They did it to themselves.
They got a phenomenal platform, man. I can't believe I
just got a hard time saying the name.
You know, I only get like 3 or 4 cuss words a day. I done ran through them all. but they love sports too, man. And they got a great job, man. You know, so tomorrow I'll be doing that as well as I jump in on the tail end with y'all, man.
I ain't saying, look, the thoughts of West Coast and Law Nation do not reflect the thoughts of Landlord.
What you need to do, Law, what you need to do with your creative ass is you need to let them say their name, right? And then just use it as a voice drop.
That's exactly what I would do, you know.
You be like, you gonna tell you why I love cowboy women? Because, and then you drop it. Bitches love cowboy talk to I did not say it. Bitches love sports too. That's why. All
right. Yes, sir.
All right, that's nefarious though, man. We keep going.
Very nefarious. Hell. But yeah, man, I go by Landlord from Alabama with the same handle on all social media. I'll probably be live tomorrow, you know, at 11 Central Time. That's around the normal time I go live. So y'all come through and holler at your boy in the Trap House. So shout out to everybody that support.
I forgot. Super Friends tonight, man. It's going to be me, Louis T, Lord Brunson, and Bad Dog, man. So y'all represent Cowboy Nation. Y'all come on out and watch me whoop up on the NFC East boys over there.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell y'all something real quick. Whenever y'all see a Cowboy content creator and he's doing a show versus other teams, bro, y'all listen to me.
We got to show out.
Bro.
Like, we got to show out on the ops, man. We got to pull up.
Bruh, listen to me. If he got 412 and they got 413, I need 2 of y'all to watch that show so we can have that 415.
Right.
Come on, we got to win every little battle, because every little battle, they listen to me. They be looking at the content like, oh yeah, we got more people watching.
Right.
It's competitive now. It's competitive.
Yeah. Because technically the Eagles' history started in 2017. Right. That's all they go to.
That's all they're gonna talk about.
They use selective history.
Even though it took them 57 or 52 years to win a Super Bowl.
This is the last thing I'm gonna say about the Eagles in this show, and then we out of here. I'm gonna tell you how lame the Eagles are. Have you guys noticed that ever since they won a Super Bowl, they don't talk about that corny ass championship they used to always talk about?
The 1930s.
We do have a Super Bowl. It was 1930, but as soon as they won a Super Bowl, they don't talk about that championship anymore. You notice that?
I'm gonna bring that up tonight, man.
I'm just, you know,
what happened to those, man, when they had 3 teams in the league, man? You know, 1926, you know.
They bragging on Super Bowl appearances over there.
Bro, that Super Bowl ring ain't even got no diamonds in it, bro.
They don't know what they're doing over there.
They ain't even got no diamonds in it, bro. But hey, man, listen to me. We are officially 2 days away from the suck, and the suck is that June content. 2 days away from the suck. The suck is that June content all the way up to the start of training camp. I'm gonna tell you this right now. You guys need to find someone to watch, because it's about to get crazy in these Cowboys streets. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Jerry Jones about to go on vacation. Players about to go on vacation. It's going to get real, real slow around this piece. I'll tell you this right now. You need us more over these next 6 weeks, because some of y'all going to go crazy. Listen to me. We are officially 100 days away from the opening of kickoff. Think about this, fellas. In 100 days from today, bruh, we're going to be kicking off the NFL season, bruh. We almost there, bruh. We're almost there, bruh. We're almost there. Just don't nobody count your days in your head. Don't say them out loud. Sleep it off. We're going to get through this together. You already know what it is. Never look down because the stars up.